All right, we are live on YouTube and Facebook. Sorry the delay, but here we are. And let me get my notes up here. We have two Andreas on Facebook. So good to see you guys. All right, so welcome everyone. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Patricia Missakian. I'm the founder of the Akashic Records Institute, and it's been an amazing journey. I've been working with the Akashic Records now for almost 20 years, and 5 years ago, I got called to start teaching Akashic Records, and it's been also an amazing 5-year journey. And the reason I share that is because working with the Akashic Records never amazes me. There's always a new step. There is always a new, a new chamber, a new room, a new opportunity to continue growing and developing not only myself, but those who I teach and who I mentor. So it's life-changing, and I dedicate my life work for this. Everything I do, somehow the Akashic Records is involved, and so a few weeks ago, I started receiving this deeper knowledge connecting to an Akashic realm and all these messengers that are here to support us, humanity, and to shift from our third dimension consciousness to fifth dimension consciousness. So what does that even mean? So it doesn't mean that, third dimension is going to end. No, we're going to continue here, but more and more you see things happening in the world, and more you see people reacting in the world, and people react, in the way that, the way that we live here, in worry, in thank you, in worry, in anger, in doubt. And this, of course, if you know a little bit of law of attraction, only brings more of that, right? What you focus on increase. So the first two videos we cover, we look at the difference. First of all, the difference between third dimension and fifth dimension. If you miss those videos and you are here, you're welcome to, join us today, but then go back to the other ones, because there is important information there that you want to go through, especially the powerful healings that you experience. And so the first day we look into the difference between the third and the fifth dimension, and we upgraded, you received a healing where we upgraded the mental and the physical bodies. And then yesterday we look at fear, right? Fear is what can drive you, to stop you or continue moving forward in a way that is empowering with you. So for you, so we work with that, and we kind of did a huge transmission for you about that too. Now today we're going to look at the spiritual aspects of the fifth dimension. Fifth dimension is all around us right now, right? Even though we live in the third dimension. And the humanity will make this shift, ready or not, right? And those who are ready will be able to navigate through more easily. So what does it mean, be ready? Be ready means not, not let all this dissonance that is happening with a lot of people around you affect you and your connection to your soul purpose, to what you're here to do for others, right? And so, and the biggest piece is to connect to the energy of trust. The trust and the peace. I've been working with, I do have a background of prosperity coach, and when I work with my clients, the client comes because he wants to make 6 figures, wants to make 7 figures, wants to have 20 clients a week, whatever, right? But when we work, when we coach together, it's like, when we start, like, neurolinguistic, if you start scaling that, so, why every single person wants peace, right? And in order to create that peace on earth, you start with trust. You start with not wasting your time, self-doubting yourself, not not following your divine guidance. So all of that, like the biggest things, if you got anything from these 3 days, is, lean in, like, strive to have an identity of trust. Trust can change everything for you. And it reminds me a book, very famous book, which I don't remember the name, but it's a book about money, right? And he talks about these people were trying to dig oil, and they dig, and they didn't find, right? And then they sold the land very cheap, and the person that bought, like, did a little shift like that, did a little drill, and found the oil, right? So most people lose trust when they are almost there. When I repeat this, most people lose trust when they're almost there. And the more you live the fifth dimension consciousness, the more you adapt to trust, the more you connect with trust and embrace trust in every single level of your life. Now, in order to trust your intuition, right? How, when the Akashic records, it's located in the fifth dimension, the dimension, this dimension of consciousness where there is no matter, where there is no polarity, there is no good or bad in the way that we are used to see good or bad. So every single person, I've been teaching this for 5 years, every single person can access the Akashic records. Their consciousness, especially in the beginning, may create doubts, may create confusion, right? But as you learn to trust, and as you, working with your higher self to develop that trust is one of the most important things. And we cover that in depth when we go through our trainings. So when you develop that trust, and when you, learn how to decode the messages. It's not, a lot of people have this illusion that, when you learn to work with the records for the first time, you're going to be poof, all the guys are going to be singing, and it's a small world. After all, it's not like that, right? It's a development. It's like you receive information from the records, but it's from a different vibration that you use it to receive. So here it's about, when you start working, start connecting to the message from the record, it's like fine-tuning that station, right? Fine-tuning that station, and continue your practice so that message can get stronger and stronger. And it's like all in life, it's about practicing. It's practicing working with your higher self. It's practicing being still and meditating, and or running energy, when that's a technique I teach. It's like it's a practice, and the more you practice, easier and easier it gets. Today we are going to do an upgrade today, where we are going to work with your 8th chakra, right? The soul, your soul star chakra. And you're going to increase your connection to your higher self. Like just deepen that connection for you, no matter what level that connection is already for you. And this is pretty much the first step to start safely developing your intuition. I truly believe that your higher self is the highest authority in your energy. And unfortunately, there are many trainings that bypass that. And what happens is, if you're not deeply connected to your higher self, and you start learning, different things, channeling or even working with the records, but you have not made that strong connection to your higher self, you may not be 100% sure of what energies you're going to be attracting, what energies you're going to be contacting with. So knowing and developing that connection to your higher self is the most important thing you want to do, no matter what you want to do. If you want to do mediumship, work with the Akashic records, other forms, work with other other planets and other, it's like whatever that is. If you have that strong connection to your higher self, you're protected from energies that are in lower vibration to connect with you. And when I say that, we talk about this, we are in the third dimension, Akashic records on the fifth dimension. So, Patricia, what happens to the fourth dimension, right? The fourth dimension is a transition. When you do some psychic work, when you do some, mediumship work, you are mainly connecting with the fourth dimension, not the fifth dimension. So what it means is you still, everything is wonderful, everything is amazing. I love, I am a psychic myself. But what I mean is just the vibration is different. The vibration, the fourth dimension is not as high as the vibration of the fifth dimension. It's just not. So what means you still have, the good and evil. You still have, that perception of good and evil. We talked a lot about that yesterday. And when you look through the lenses of the Akashic records, there is no good and evil. One of the most powerful things that you understand when we work together is that sometimes we make agreements with people and people love you so, so, so very much. Every time I talk about that, I get emotional, and people love you so very much that they agree to come into this world and be the villain in your life, in your interpretation, of course. But sometimes that is necessary for your growth. And there is so much love behind when someone, and of course they have their own growth process, you have your own growth process, but when someone agree to come to this life, to be the villain in your life, to be the person that is going to leave you, to be the person that, is going to hurt you for love. So when you see through the eyes of the Akashic records, one of the first things my students learn is no judgment. There is no judgment, because what you are experiencing right now, most of the time, is a repercussion of a decision on an agreement that you made many, many lifetimes ago. And it's not like to punish you. It's not about that, but it's for your growth, and it's for the growth of everybody involved. We are all here to grow and to evolve exactly into fifth dimension consciousness. That's why, like now, more and more people are talking about the Akashic records. When I start working with the Akashic records, I so love this time right now, because 5 years ago, and with my accent, when I would go somewhere and people would say, so what do you do? And I say, I teach Akashic records. People would be like, oh, okay, let's talk about Sophia, because I have no idea what you do, lady. So, and nowadays, everybody knows, so it's a lot easier. There is a lot more opportunities to grow and expand. And this is amazing, because, it's just showing that we are all awakening, and we need it all. We needed everybody. We needed all different flavors, because it's, the most important thing that you learn from really living the fifth dimension consciousnness is the energy of oneness. It's not about what one person is doing. It's no longer about, the ego to, because I wanted to create this, because I wanted this to happen, and I wanted to be that. But it's no longer, the more and more you live in the fifth dimension consciousness, less and less that matters. And the opposite, working together, the more people that talk about, more is going to spark interest in different people. So this is an amazing time to be. But we have gazillions and gazillions and gazillions of people in the world, so we need all the help we can get. And the more we grow and expand, as a collective, more and more we all receive in enlightenment, in energies, in new ways of, create and manifest things we receive as a collective. So, so it's truly an honor to work with you these 3 days. I'm sorry we're going a little over. We are going to do the healing in a second, but of course, as you see, It's I'm kind of bringing, like, almost 20 years of wisdom in 3 days. So I would love, for those of you that wanted to work with me, wanted to work deeper, wanted to really learn how to connect to your Akashic records and really go through a healing journey where you can change everything in your life. My Akashic Record certification students, they came in to learn how to give powerful Akashic Record sessions, but they changed their lifetime, this lifetime, for like so much healing. Students that were going to break the marriage, they reconcile. Students that the marriage wasn't no longer working, they turn it around and they empower themselves, and they are now doing amazing things. So there is so much that transforms for you. The Akashic Record certification program that we offer, it's one of the most in-depth programs. Working with the Akashic Records, we work together for 6 months, and I would love to support you to make this shift, like continue growing and making this shift in a way that is easy for you, and in the way that you can have a lifestyle that you really enjoy while you're helping other people. At the end of the day, that is what matters. It's not how much money you have in the bank. It's not, none of that. It is important to create prosperity as you're helping others because you wanted to feel fulfilled, right? But what really matters is creating balance in your life, doing something that you really fulfilled, and also creating a lifestyle where you are feeling fulfilled, you're feeling complete, and you're receiving the balance of giving and receiving. And again, I'm looking at both places. So, so again, I'd love to make this shift, supporting making this shift in making with easy, and that's one of the things that I bring to the table. It doesn't have to be hard. Nothing has to be hard, right? So making this shift consciously with easy rather than kicking and screaming because you don't understand what's going on and all that stuff. So I'd love to show you how you can completely change your life, how you can completely change the life of your clients if you choose to. And the program is starting next week, and you're going to learn how to connect with your inner guidance, your higher self, deeply heal your inner child, access the wisdom contained in the Akashic Records many different ways. You learn how to go to the Akashic Records, you learn to ask questions, you learn how to bring the Akashic Records to you so you can co-create with the Akashic Records. Do automatic writing directly with the vibration from the records, with the messages for you or for others, and strengthening your connection to the fifth dimension and be part of this collective that is here to support others. And if there are, if you have hesitance or fear of what other people are going to say, know that most of those fears come from past lives where you may be persecuted, or maybe you had to be isolated because you knew too much, and now the times are different. Now we have support, and now we are here to stick to each other, right? So you're more than safe. But the most important thing that I received from since I started working with the Akashic Records is free myself from this mass consciousness of fear. It does not affect me. And that's why, no matter where I go, I'm always creating, I always receiving, and it's a continual flows of balance in my life. So, and plus in the certification program, you can learn how you can do that for others. You can learn how to be a consultant to help others when they're going through difficult moments in their lives. So, I'm also honored to bring you this special series, Expanding Humanity into Fifth Dimension Living. There's so much more available to you. For those of you that want to learn more about our Akashic Record certification program, just visit my website. The link is up here too, or down. If you're on YouTube, go to akashicrecords.com/Akashic-Records-certification-program. All right. So let's work on a mini healing. I cannot share my screen on Facebook because I'm on the phone, and hopefully I'm horizontal. I'm not. If I'm like that, hello. So we're not gonna do the I'm not gonna share the image. We're just gonna go do the healing and the upgrade for you right here, right now. We're just gonna close your eyes directly. Again, there is no image today. I will show an image. I just have to. This is I'm gonna actually share one of the things that are coming up through for me through actually this one of these techniques that I teach my students, which is the automatic writing with the Akashic records. So this is not the original. This is just a print I did in the paper, but it's beautiful work that is coming to you, and we're gonna be sharing more about it. There is an oracle deck coming through, and it's from the Akashic realm. And this is one of the beautiful. Let me show here. This is one of the beautiful messengers from the Akashic Records. She is Ziara, and she teaches compassion and work with supporting those who are in need of forgiveness. So she is going to support us as we connect to your higher self. Isn't her beautiful? And this artwork, it's from one of my students, beautiful student, um, Graça Santos from Brazil, and she went through my training of the Akashic Awakening, where through this process, that is one of the processes that I teach to, which is expressing your creativity with the Akashic Records. She went to the program. She was one of my first students. She went to the program like 5 years ago, and she just completely shifted her life. She like started painting and does this beautiful work, and I'm super honored to have her, to invite her to illustrate these beautiful messages from the Akashic realm that has so much to teach us. And she accepted, and we started this project. So it's a beautiful work of love and labor of love, but it came from working with the Akashic records. So even if you're not interested in be a practitioner, there is so much to grow and evolve, and it would be an honor to invite you. So if you have questions, just send us a message. Send us a message the Akashic Records Institute. Go to our website. There is a support channel there, and we can support you, answer any questions you have. So now I want to invite you to close your eyes. Closing your eyes. Those are down here, somewhere there they are. So close your eyes. I'm calling my healing guides. I'm going to invite you to open your first chakra and ground to the center of the earth. Open your crown chakra, or fourth, the energy of the universe. And let's call your higher self to the top of your head. Smile and say hello to your higher self. Receive your old wise soul saying hello back to you. Healing guides are coming to you now, where you are. No matter if you're here live or listening to the replay, when you listen, this is your time. Now the healing guides are in co-creation with your higher self, starting to clear your aura from all the triggers of other people's judgment, of your connection, your intuition, maybe in this lifetime, maybe in other lifetimes. Hearing anybody else's fear in your aura. And now we're going to ask your higher self to point out where in your body are you holding triggers from maybe this life or past lives where you were judged from connecting to your intuition, from connecting to the records, for being an oracle, for being a witch, whatever it was, whatever, for being ahead. I would say, everything encompasses from being ahead of your time. So, so let me repeat. We're going to ask your higher self to point out to my healing guides, where are you in your body? Are you holding old agreements that wasn't safe to be ahead of your time? Wasn't safe to know, wasn't safe to be. And the energy that comes in your womb, in your, no matter if you're man or woman, but in the area of your second chakra, that is, the words that come to me is deep loss and deep grief. So take a nice deep breath. Notice what you notice in your body and bring your attention to the area in your second chakra. Deep loss, deep grief, deep sadness for not feeling that you belong, for not feeling accepted, for feeling abandoned. And I'm talking to many lifetimes of you. And I'm talking about whatever you went through. I see you, and I honor you, and I thank you for being the one who opened the path for all of us now. So what we're going to do, Ziara, it's coming in, and she's going to support all of yourselves, all lifetimes, where you may have felt anger about others or even yourself. And maybe the lifetimes that you did not forgiven yourself or others. And she's going to be doing a deep healing work, emanating now this beautiful light, crystal lights from her hands directly to your second chakra. And all you need to do now is to be present to what shows up. If emotion shows up, if you feel like crying, just let it go. If you feel like you wanted to open your mouth and let a sound come out, it's very helpful. And if memories come to you, images, even if they don't make sense, just give yourself permission to connect to a deeper compassion within yourself, for yourself. So Ziara is bringing healing and forgiveness to all these memories. And it's almost like there's two lights. One light is bringing healing and forgiveness that is coming from her hand. From the other hand, there is another light. And this is coming, one feels like red, orange, and the other like a blue, like a soft blue. So one of these lights are awakening a deeper connection to compassion for yourself and others. So just take a moment to be present with what is showing up for you. There is no right or wrong. Just tuning in with that. While you're processing this energy, the healing guys are going to be working on your 8th chakra. Clearing any resistance. And there are even lifetimes where there was blame on your higher self. And your higher self sees you and loves you and sees you through any emotions you'll ever experience. Your higher self shares that you love it beyond words. And there is nothing you could ever do that would that would that would shame your higher self. So if for whatever reason you felt disconnected or you felt not worthy, know that is all an interpretation. And from the days that follow, notice the gifts that your higher self is going to bring to your reality. Little pockets of softness, flow. And the more you focus on these pockets of softness and flow, the more and more you're going to feel the presence of your higher self. So I'm going to ask your higher self to give you a sign for you to look in the next few days. That could be a butterfly, a rose, or a feather, or something that is meaningful to you. So your higher self is going to bring you what it is for you. And just notice what is the first thing that comes to you. Now the next step, I want you to ask your higher self, asking your higher self to tell you how can you strengthen this connection between you and your higher self. So let your higher self share with you. Now focusing on this deeper connection with compassion that you're feeling in your second chakra. Allow the compassion to move, infuse your whole body, infuse your room, your aura. Healing guides are now going to connect the records of your body with the records of your soul. And we're going to do the download of lifetimes and lifetimes where you really felt love it. You felt the love from the divine towards you, the love from your higher self towards you. We're going to bring that deeper connection to that wisdom to these lifetimes so you can embrace more and more of the identity of someone that walks through the world and knows deep in your core that you're deeply, deeply loved. The more you embrace that identity, the more you share that love with others too. So download starting now. The download is completed. Healing guides are going to disconnect the records of the body with the records of the soul. I'm going to start integrating this energy with the intelligence of your body. And once again, thanking you for being here, thanking your higher self, thanking the messenger Ziara and my healing guides. Namaste. Alright, guys, it was such an honor to play with you the last 3 days. So I'm looking forward to see some of you in our Akashic Record certification training or on our next journey, whenever that is going to be. For those of you that are new here, every Monday we open the energies of the week with the sacred crystal codes. And for those that participate in this 3-part series, make sure to share this video now. If you are on Facebook, it only works on Facebook, share this video, because next week I'm going to do a drawing in gratitude for everybody that share. You may get some fun prizes next week. And the reason that I ask you to share, is that so more people can grow, more people can evolve, more people can receive this powerful healing that you received. And as you receive and you share so others can receive too, what happens? We all grow as a collective, right? That is, and again, when I started 5 years ago, nobody knew what Akashic Record was, almost, right? So it's a lot harder when a lot of people are completely unaware around you. So the more you share, more people get more aware, and then it comes back to you multiplied. So thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing, and I will see you next week. And again, questions about the certification, just send a message. We have a beautiful class already going strong, so it would be an honor to have you join us. Have a beautiful one, guys. Bye-bye. You're so welcome, guys. So good to see you guys here. Yay. Thank you for being here.